because you had about 40 people in that hall. Some were looking at me like I'm disturbing them. And
my darling brother, since you are very good with sorry to cut you short, you are very good with social media. Can you guys, your team, reach out to Sahara reporters on this case to publicize the case?
Well, I think we've not reached out to them.
I'm saying you should. I'm saying you should.
That we think we can reach out to. And again, these guys have some of these people in spam, like the bloggers, the police.
No, not like Sahara reporters. Sahara reporters listen to this kind of a thing. Not Sahara reporters. Try and reach out to Sahara reporters. He's gaining awareness on my page too. Okay, it's just, you understand. It's not for you to get justice now. It's not about you getting justice, but awareness. Like the video I posted about him, the last one I posted really gained a lot of awareness. I saw people tagging each other, tagging themselves to that video. But I just think, especially for we in diasporas, we need to do more. The last caller before you said he was not a social media person. You understand?
Yeah, of course.
There are so many people that don't have time for social media per se. That all they do is probably just read news on places like that and go. So people have been tagging VDM too, is to create awareness. We are not the one to fight the case, like I keep saying. The case is between if EFCC wants to fight the case, here in abroad, if they want to fight the case too, he's doing podcast now. Omo Power Online is saying one time again on show time. Go ahead, my brother. I'm sure he's on my page now.
Yeah.
His team are on my page.
There's a lot of cases against him, EFCC in Lagos.
Yes, there are a lot of cases, yes.
People are sending things in. It's just that they've not been able to capture him the way they should have done. Because even himself, like I said, he knows some of these people. He's kind of branded doing this nonsense thing. I mean, when he came to Canada and I approached him, he was telling me that this is my $8,000 that I used to buy $1 million house in America. That what am I talking about? That people just
the $1 million house that he bought. Did he pay for $1 million?
You cannot be insulting me.
Who is he telling that?
I need explanation of what happened to my money.
Oh yeah, they are long way. At least you work for your money. You didn't steal it.
I can send out of this hotel. I said you cannot. I paid you. So like we were having that. The atmosphere was like really changed in that hall. And after my speaking, he collected his mic and started saying nonsense. I just walk out after sometimes. I left them alone. But at least I made my point known to the 40 people stayed there. If you put your money down for this man, you're on your own.
You are wasting your money.
So if you're listening to me now, you can invest your Akintayo. I don't say don't invest. But before you do it, do your due diligence. Make sure that thing is existing before you do it. Don't. In fact, I don't know. That's just my own experience. And like I said, I have people that are still fighting with him now. That they bought things with him from Dubai. They have money, like huge amount of money, that he is sitting on. So our people should just be very careful. Invest your money where you are, and do your findings. If you have to go to Nigeria, do your findings very well. If you cannot buy by yourself, in fact, the best thing, go there, buy by yourself. And how can you be paying the developmental fees for a land, and then that amount is even more than the amount of the land itself? What kind of nonsense is that? I have property with other companies. At least if I can mention another company is there that I have issue with. That I have property with. They never ask me for developmental fees. The issue is when you want to build, then you pay for developmental fees. But if you are not building, you are doing land banking. There's no need for you to pay for developmental fees.
Thank you very much, my brother.
People should be very, very, very
careful. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to send me the link of the video you said you did.
Can I reach out to this number like this after the show?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send you something on this. I'll send you a lot of things on this number.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for creating the awareness with us. Everything we do here. If I miss your call, I'm calling you back right away. Please pick as soon as I'm calling. I'm trying to see so if I don't repeat the same caller, the same person I've called. Okay. Some people are still defending me in Canada. He's coming in May. He already scheduled a meet and greet. Problem ti won nìyẹn. Okay. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè ká ní mo tún miss call ẹ̀. I think I've called this person.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Adama, Miss Adama, how are you? Good to see Dr. Adama, how you doing? Good to see you. Please do me a favor if you're coming in, as you're coming in, hitting the like button. Let me set up the poll so that everybody can be helping us spread the word as they're coming in. Today, I just want to cruise. All right, so I didn't really plan to go live before. So today is just a quick hangout for the Prestige family. Let's catch up. Let's see what else is going on out there in the streets. I've got a couple of minutes. All right. Did you hit the like button? All right. So we're gonna start off with this conversation with this about this guy, Stephen Akintayo, 39-year-old, according to Wikipedia or Google, if you will. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications as you're coming in. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Help me hit the like button. I appreciate you. Over here, we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics, but we approach these things from self-power, social seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence standpoint. So we assess things very carefully. We try not to judge, and if we're going to judge, we also judge the victims. Okay, not judging victims, I'm sorry. Okay, if we're going to shame at all, victims too, they collect. Okay, but we try not to do that. Okay, but I'm just saying, hopefully you don't misinterpret the lessons as shaming if you're a victim, because some people struggle with that. You can download my books absolutely for free. I've got about 2 books, Man of Prestige. I've got 2 books for you for free. You can download them for free. These are books that I wrote with my wife, Klein. There's 2 books written by my wife and I. So, number 1, Red Flag, Get My Marriage Back. You can download them for free with the links in the description box. So you can just go to manofprestige.com. All right. So we try to quickly shout out to all my sponsors. I appreciate all of you, all the members, all the sponsors, anybody that donate, especially if you're hitting the like button every time you come here. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. This month, I think the goal is 128.85. We're like 2 days away from the end of the month, so we're $95.35. I appreciate every single one of those dollars. Thank you so much. You can also use Zelle, you can use PayPal, you can use Cash App. The information is right there on the screen. The email address is ask@manofprestige.com. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. You see, the pursuit of happiness, or whatever human beings are looking for, is endless. You know, and sometimes people will do all the wrong things to achieve what they look to achieve, and sometimes it's a blurry thing. If it looks like it's straightforward to you, right or wrong, there's a good chance that it's just not the area of life where you're desperate. Okay, that doesn't mean you're not a good person. It means I'm actually saying you're a good person. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm actually saying you're a good person, but don't count on it. Sometimes when you're desperate, how do you say that? Desperate measures yield desperate, some like that. I don't know, you know, but people get desperate sometimes, and we're not making excuses for them. We're just saying protect yourself, protect your resources, protect what you've worked so hard for. Don't count on other people protecting your life, your relationships for you, because in the end, in the final analysis, everybody each on their own. So the audio I was playing earlier on is Auntie Aduni on YouTube. I recently came across her platform. So she's been covering this Stephen Akintayo stuff. Who is Stephen Akintayo? Let's first of all, let me bring you up to speed with what this guy is. Let me pull my screen up. Yeah, this is Stephen Akintayo's page. I did a video. I think I did a short video on that. On why he's trending and why he's being dragged by Nigerians across the social media street. I gave some tips, probably more so to him, you know, But today I might spend a little bit more time on potential victims of his business practices, allegedly. All right. So, because a lot of people are talking right now, as a matter of fact, as we're talking right now live, they are on what's the name? CARDONE's platform. Listen to this. Let me play this for you. Listen to it. Listen.
Project when will be completed. We'll put a timeline of 2030. At this point, we are putting all the designs together to file for permits and petition so much.
Ẹni àti arúgbó ti kékeré yẹ.
2 years to get all that we need and then start construction. So, is either you're buying land.
Ẹ dúró.
I call it land.
Wait, hold on. Any sùúrù.
All right. So that's him actually live right there. Let me see. What did she say? Okay.
Ma, the lady you advertised for a while ago called F Rich Mommy. I've also been on one of his live shows. She needs to be careful.
All right. So let me come back to what we're doing. So I'm letting you know who Stephen Akintayo is first. So this is his page on Instagram. Stephen Akintayo, 1 million followers. It says Chairman GTEX Holdings, GTEX Suites, GTEX Global. What's going on here? Oh, okay. This doesn't. Okay. So this one allow me to. Okay, this one didn't pop open somewhere. Okay, GTEX Global, the SAF Global, GTEX Land. Okay, that's another one. Is this one? This one is no longer live. This one is no longer live. Okay, 2023 Forbes Best of Africa's Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul. Okay, and the best of the best of they follow him on Instagram because it's featured on Daddy Freak's platform a few times. Selling access to some investments. What I understood from the little bit I picked up from them is their investment portfolios. They did seem like it to attract a lot of people that know nothing about real estate. As a matter of fact, I think that was more so his marketing message. He was selling real estate, but more so for people that don't have the time. People that don't have the time to learn what they need to learn. Do me a favor, as you're coming in, hit the like button. I'm hanging out. Do me a favor, let everybody else know I'm hanging out, okay? I haven't been live in over a week, so we might have to wake it up. All right, so yeah, back to here now. Okay, so you can see here, I'm looking at here right now. He has 1 hour to go. He has a chat going on right now. I think this was posted 1 hour ago. Okay, so he actually has something going on YouTube as we speak. Let me see if I can put it up so I can play a little bit of that. I'll bring you up to speed. Bottom line is that he's being accused right now. He's being accused of scamming a lot of people. Okay, and a lot of people are speaking out. I heard a few people called into CARDONE's show, and they are claiming to be the victim of Akintayo. They bought lands, they did not assign the land, So let me play a little bit of this. So he has a leadership podcast with somebody going, okay, this is a, let's see here. So he does podcasts. He dabbles in everything, Check this out. Oh, I have to refresh.
Dwell in sin. It shows you that now that you have enjoyed forgiveness of sins, you have what it takes to live above sin. So now the thing here is the pardon is what gives birth to the power. Any teaching of power over sin that hasn't shown you the pardon over sin is works. Any teaching of the pardon over sin that doesn't now show you the power over sin is destructive. It's not a complete message.
All right. So nice lingo, kingdom type lingo. Today is Sunday. Happy Sunday to all of you. Anyway, so that's he tend to do things like that. This is one of his pages, Dtex Land. What is Africa #1 developer of green and smart homes? Okay, so I wonder who is rating all those different companies. That's one of his companies. Another one here is Gtex Suites, properties, real estate, shortlets in Dubai and Nigeria, luxury living redefined. Okay, so he's claimed that all this dragging is advertisement for him. So maybe we're actually advertising him right now. If that's the case, so be it, But I'm going to tell you right now, you need to learn how to do due diligence. Number one, don't invest in anything you don't understand. Stop investing in anything you don't understand. Okay. And if you're going to take any interest, of course, it's okay to have interest in something you're discovering for the first time. Also educate yourself. Take a little bit of time, 90 days, to educate yourself before you throw significant amount of money at anything or any form of investment that you didn't previously understand. From a lot of the stories of some of the victims, it's just a lot of people investing their money. They have too much money in the bank and they were looking for a place to place it, and they decided to throw it at something they don't fully understand. That's what I'm picking up from most of them. Does that make Mr. Akintayo or Dr. Akintayo Stephen not responsible? No, it doesn't. Okay, but I'm not just gonna sit around and say, hey, let's not victim shame, and we're not gonna point out that you need to be educated. You need to be educated before you put your money in anything. Educate yourself first. And if it's saying significantly above 10% return on investment in a year, not a month, in a year, anything significantly above 10%, it is probably a scam. If it's not a scam, as in from a standpoint of intentions, the person that's offering you the investment probably also don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they signed up for. They're probably trying to recruit you into something. All right, they're also trying to recruit you into something. So and of course, if they're leading mostly by recruiting, there's also a good chance it's still a scam. It doesn't matter if there's a product or not. If the highlight is more so on recruiting you so that you can sell, so that you can recruit other people that will sell, then you should start looking at it sideways. It's probably a scam likely. Okay, so that's one. Gtex Suite real estate. So another one here says Gtex Holdings, all different logos. Anybody can jump on canva.com and create a logo. A logo is not good enough, and evidence. A good brand persona on the internet is not good enough evidence that it works. Okay, being a good talk is not. So people have to be consistent. They have to kind of show you something, right? So somebody said, let's not victim shame anybody. It can happen to anybody. You see the excuses you give yourself to continue to get in trouble. Again, you do the same thing in relationship. You do the same thing in wealth accumulation. You do the same thing when it comes to your health. Like, it can happen to anybody. You refuse to borrow yourself brain and learn as much as you can, or keep an open mind that you can actually learn. Instead, you rather play the victim or perpetuate playing the victim. I don't know. I'm trying to be careful because these days you never know when you're victim shaming people. My point is, educate yourself. All right, educate yourself. Just because they're a pastor, like we're just saying here, Stephen is also a pastor, right? Just because they're a pastor does not make them not a non-scammer. I'm not saying it's a scammer. I'm saying it doesn't exonerate him. It doesn't make him automatically qualified to sell you investment opportunities. All right. And some people might have qualified even on paper, certification wise, and you still shouldn't do business with them. You should educate yourself. I'm not saying doing research. Research is one of them. Okay, you can research, you can go on reviews. Reviews are good, but after you do review and you look at other people's reviews, even if the reviews looks positive, you should still do your own research, meaning educate yourself, know how to assess some of these investment vehicles. And like, for example, somebody said they wired 40 million naira. And I'm like, where did you wire 40 million naira? Did you wire 40 million naira into an escrow account, or personally to somebody's account that they posted on WhatsApp group somewhere? Okay, that is an education issue. Okay, that is a ignorance issue. Okay, as much as it's a corruption issue, it's also ignorance issue. Okay, I know on social media we rather just talk about the corruption part of it. No, it's also ignorance issue. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for protecting yourself, your resources. You should guard it with everything. Let's see if we can listen a little bit more to. If you want to listen to the whole thing, go and support Auntie Aduni on YouTube. But after the show, of course, because I got some other stuff to cover. Listen to this. Listen.
And I am going to start doing that. People should really go and check, because we're talking about Stephen Akintayo. We don't know the ones.
The other ones, yeah, because people are mentioning lots of names now.
Maybe. Sorry?
I said people are mentioning lots of other realtors too involved.
Yes. You don't know the ones that have scammed you.
Yes.
Just thinking about it now, everybody should. Yes.
All right, so let me speak a little bit to what she's talking about right there. Right. So in the beginning, when I started to watch that show earlier on today, thank you, Adama. I appreciate you so much for the support. When I was listening to some of the things today, people were saying she was posting something that people said, like multiple people were promoting the same land. I was like, that's the nature of real estate. You lease the property for everybody to see. If it's in developed countries, I don't know about Nigeria. Here they have MLS, what they call the MLS, multiple listing systems, right? Where they list, and anybody, any licensed realtor, any licensed agent can promote the property, right? They can go and show the property. So if somebody is posting a house or anything like that, it doesn't necessarily translate to it's a scam. If multiple people are showing the same property, it doesn't necessarily translate to scam. That's why I said educate yourself. The scam actually, well, it probably begins from false advertisement. I agree with that part. But in terms of protecting your resource, I want to focus on you protecting yourself. Okay, I want to focus on you making sure you protect yourself. Anyway, so I'm looking at some of the posts that he posted here. Let's look at it. So I heard that since yesterday he's been posting some testimonials and stuff. Let's listen to this.
Nigeria can make a lot of money,
bro. Exactly.
If around you right people that are making money in Nigeria, they don't have two heads.
I have the same idea.
Like, I prefer to be a king in my country.
Not necessarily in another
country. I can shout. Do you know? Let's go. I can say, do you know who I am?
You know, a lot of people will argue that fact with you.
Trust me, just make sure that you are with the right people. The crowd you follow in life determines.
All right, let me see here. Okay, she's posting happy birthday. All right, so that's him. That's Akintayo Stephen. He's got some kind of branding things going on, right? He's got some kind of branding things going on. But there's a video that I saw that he posted that I'm going to try to pull up right now. Some kind of video around $18,000. Okay, so why is it being dragged? First of all, he's asking people for $18,000 for mentorship, and the whole social media went bonkers. Okay, they went crazy. They were like, $18,000 for what? What do you want $18,000 for mentorship? For mentorship? Like, what are you giving inside of your mentorship that you're charging $18,000? So some people had some interesting things to say about that. So, but I noticed that he posted some kind of testimony. Okay, I'm going to get to that, but let me play this video for you real quick. There's a video from an Azan on YouTube here, and let's see what he has to say about this. Listen in.
mentorship fee $18,000 mentorship fee about 30 million naira.
What's with the background music?
$18,000 recently launched a 12-month billionaire.
Okay. The music in the background, Jesus Christ. Anyway, let me see here. Hold on 1 second. So that's why it's being dragged. It's being dragged across the internet because they're claiming that $18,000, that somebody that will have that kind of money probably doesn't need you to mentor them. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. There's no other better way to say that you're a broke person than to say that. Okay, I beg to differ. That's absolutely not true. Okay, there are people that have $180,000 and they feel stuck. So imagine this: they feel stuck. Maybe business has not been growing for like 6 months. Maybe they're starting to doubt themselves. By the way, everybody go watch the Chude story in the past few days. You can have a lot. You can have a lot going on. You can feel like at top of the world, and you now start to feel empty, and you now comparing yourself to other people, and you suddenly feel like they might know something that you don't know. And you still have $180,000 sitting in the bank account, but you're like, you know what? I normally bring in $300,000 every month. But in the last 3 months, I feel like I'm about to go broke. I'm panicking. So I'm going to simply like do something about it. $18,000. So I don't go another month without my $300,000 typical coming in for my business. It's not even about personal, your business revenue. Okay. So you take out of the business account, you say, I'm going to pay this guy so I can have a session with him. It happens all the time. So what is in it? Why would you pay for something like that? Again, desperate. If people are desperate, they're not stable. I talked about that in the first video I did. If they're not stable, if they're in a situation where they're having doubts about themselves, or because there's no condition that's permanent, they might suddenly feel like maybe real estate is my next route. Or maybe they have some real estate that they've been holding on to for a while, they didn't get to sell, and they feel like market, like, you know what, the profit that will come from this is $150,000. I've been holding on to it for 8 years. I don't mind giving $18,000 of that potential profit to this guy because it seems like he knows what he's talking about. See, you cannot say in one breath that it can happen to anybody and then change your mouth when it comes to hearing something that you can't comprehend or that you can't relate with. Can't do that. You can, but I'll correct it. Feel me? All right. So so Stephen Akintayo also noticed over time that he had been eavesdropping on a lot of American stuff. For example, one of the things he was selling is he claimed that he bought a parcel of land, big parcel of land in Houston, and they're trying to share profit with other people. Right? They're trying to share profit with other people so you can invest in, get your own piece of the pie, right? So he's trying to raise money. He set up some paperwork. I think he's actually worked, if I'm not wrong, I think he's actually worked with, let me see if I can pull up something here, with people like Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone also is an American guy who's a real estate guru. He also sells investments and things like that. He's also been accused by many people who have invested and felt like the return wasn't fast enough. You know, so he's been accused of that in the past, and you know, but people get through that, right? All right, now, so speaking of, let me see here. Yep, he's also tried to part. So one of his mentors might be the Grant Cardones of this world, which is, oh, you need to raise money. You need to raise money. Listen to this.
It's transformational. It's going to be explosive. Join Dr. Stephen Akintayo and Grant Cardone for the first of its kind, the biggest wealth conference in the world. It's the Global Wealth Festival 2022. It's going to teach you the powerful secrets of Grant Cardone and how he built an $8 billion business with almost nothing. Happening live in Dallas, 16th of July, 2022. Venue, Embassy Suites of Hilton Dallas Frisco Hotel and Convention Center, Dallas, Texas.
Grant Cardone here. Hope you're doing well today. If you're serious about changing the world with the company or ideas that you have, make sure you click the link below, grab your seat, reserve your spot. It's going to be a phenomenal event. I'll see you there.
Hello guys, I'm Dr. Stephen Akintayo, Africa's most influential investment coach, and I cannot wait to see you at the Global World Festival. It's going to be amazing.
Visit globalwealthfestival.com to register now.
All right, so listen to that. Didn't you get, don't lie, you got gingered up a little bit, right? So again, like I said, he's got the branding thing on lock. He's got the association with the right gurus like Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone really didn't mention his name, but he probably collected some money for that event, right? So aka probably, likely, Stephen Akintayo, Dr. Stephen Akintayo dropped a couple of tens of thousands of dollars to have access to Grant Cardone to come and, because when you associate with certain brands, some people believe that, it can actually help your brand a little bit. It can, but it's a hit or miss. You can lose your money just like that. Okay? You can lose everything just like that. So those are some of the things that we're talking about here. So when we say $18,000 for mentorship, is that a lot? No, it's not really a lot. There are people that pay $100,000, $200,000 for access. Just access. Just the hopes that when I access a certain group of people, it will change. I need to be around certain. You see, again, you cannot just choose and pick when certain talking points are valid for you. Sometimes we say you're the average of the closest five people you're surrounded with, but only when it's $18,000. Abi, what do you mean? Nah, not that simple. So I think what I think is that his business practices into the past few years has not been clean. It doesn't look very clean. There are a lot of unhappy people about some of the investment is offered. I'm talking about Dr. Stephen Akintayo, but also even Grant Cardone. A lot of people last year, 2 years ago, they were calling Grant Cardone out on Clubhouse for scamming people. What happened? He decided to open up what they call they call sophisticated investors. According to SEC, it means you are worth $1 million net worth. You make at least $200,000 a year. I don't know if they've changed the rule, but that was the rule at one point. For you to be considered a sophisticated investor, you have to be worth, that's a net worth, all your assets minus liability must be at least $1 million, and at least you bring in $200,000 a year. And for a long time, Grant Cardone his name is Grant Cardone. He was offering its investment opportunities only to sophisticated investors. Why? Because sophisticated investors, they tend to understand that it's a risk. Grant Cardone is a 67-year-old guy, American entrepreneur, author, investor, but he sells a lot of stuff. If you buy his $5,000, some people have told me that they bought his $5,000 package and it's just him sitting and talking to himself, and it was just fluff information. Some people have said that. Some people have said, you know what? That was the beginning of my journey with him, and he changed my life, So it depends on everybody's experience. And now it comes down to when you're paying your money, did they have a gun to your head? Did you look at the disclosures? Did you know what you were buying into? Or there was just another promise that you're going to get rich without doing anything? See, again, self-accountability is one of the... Anybody that's selling you that you don't have to be self-accountable, they are the biggest scam artists out there. Particularly when you are... I'm talking particularly when you actually have been scammed per your own assessment. If you feel scammed by somebody and you now start talking to somebody and they said, let's not victim shame, it is all their fault. They are the biggest scam artists. They are probably just creating content, and it's better to just drag rich and big people. You get more people following. The moment you start holding people accountable, they start dropping off. That's the way it works. Okay? Should we hold people accountable? Yes. Should we hold you accountable for your ignorance when it comes to picking certain types of investments, not educating yourself? Yes. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Don't you want to protect yourself for the future? Shout out to Gracious Greatness. How are you doing, my brother? Good to see you, man. All right. So Grant Cardone also has been accused of that, right? Does it mean he didn't scam people? No, I'm just saying people go there, they spend up to $35,000, $50,000. If you search his name long enough on social media, you will see people giving reports that he was scammed. that they were scammed by Grant Cardone. So why is it that they don't put them away? Because there's no proof that you were scammed. Okay, you were quote unquote lured into something you didn't understand, and you dropped your money. You wired your money into strange accounts without the help of an attorney to actually help you look over contracts. When you're buying real estate, you should have an attorney looking over the paperwork. Okay, and that money should be wired into an escrow account where it is protected. So if your money goes to the other person without you verifying that the property has exchanged hands, then the bank will be also guilty because the bank is supposed to also have systems in place to verify that. But a lot of people are desperate. A lot of people, they work very hard, 9 to 5, they save all this money, but they've been doing the same routine for the past 15 years. So they have a lot of money in the bank account. So the first thing they think about when they want to invest is, oh, there's a guy called Stephen Akintayo on the internet. He sounds so good. He's dressed up like an Alaji, like an Aboki Alaji. So he looks like he knows what he's doing. He flies around private jets, is in Dubai. I'm just giving examples, right? And before you know it, you drop your money. You sent your money to strangers. You don't want me to tell you that you shouldn't do that again? No, you should not do that again. Okay? You should not do that again. And there's a good chance that the greed in you will not let you listen at that time, because in your heart, that they promise you you're going to flip your money 100%. Right? So now you bought into it, and now you're coming to social media, and all of us should just not shame the victim. Let's listen to Auntie Aduni a little bit again, maybe for 3 minutes. Let's see.
Epa, I'm okay now. Silence call. I will call. If I miss your call, I'm calling you back. Hello, Daddy Wa. Hello, sir. Mororuko yin, sir.
I just got in touch with Omo, my friend. So
okay,
he said he's going to get in touch with his folks at the Sahara Reporters.
Thank you, sir.
And then they'll be able to. So he has detached himself from the Sahara Reporter. So he's boy that
are working there
doing a job now. So he doesn't want time to go into that little Sahara for now. So. But I just chatted with him now. So he said he's going to take the case up and let his folks know so that they can investigate.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Nigeria go better. Thank you so much, Daddy. Daddy Wa.
Problem, sir. I have no problem.
If you call, I miss your call, I will call you back.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, ma.
Yes, good evening.
I want to. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, ma. I want to quickly chip in something, ma. I called you yesterday. I'm the same English woman. The land you are showing that is showing now. There are some land here in Houston, Texas, that is like a ranch. What is not in Houston is outside Houston. After the airport, is Valley.
All right, so that doesn't prove anything again. So the person say there are some landing. So the guy is standing on the land in Houston somewhere, and he's saying, "Hey, you want to be a part of this big thing that we have going?" He's filming himself inside of the sun in an agbada inside of Houston. That's part of the marketing. That's called marketing in real life, okay? And they're supposed to market. Now, does it really have the land ownership? That is something you're supposed to verify. Okay, you don't have to verify. You wire your money into an escrow with the protection of your own attorney, not the attorney that Dr. Stephen recommends for you, your own attorney. They will probably tell you, like, what can we see something? Okay, we need to do some title work. We need to make sure that these are actually, they will tell you what you need to do, but your money will be protected. He needs to see that your money is in escrow before they can also trust to do business with you, because then he knows you know what you're doing. The chances are it won't go too far, because there are more than enough mumus that will wire their money to him without verifying anything, right? So they were like, that one's just wasting our time, right? All right, so now again, so you know, this is a post that I found on this guy. This is him taking picture with Grant Cardone. Again, these are his mentors. He said, "Happy birthday to my business mentor, Grant Cardone. Long life. Yes, gracious greatness, the Mr. Private Jet. Yep. Long life and God's blessing. Grant has taken 20 years off his age and said he is now 47 years old instead of 67. Wishing you all the best of God in this new phase, and congratulations on ending the 10X Growth Conference after 10 years. So Grant Cardone is the guy who puts together that event. So you can see here, he has a lanyard on. He's just, it looks to me that he's just another attendee at the event. That's what.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
All right, so he's sitting among the crowd like everybody else. He probably paid a lot of money to be close to the front, I guess. Maybe not. They're celebrating his birthday, right? So, but that's Dr. Akintayo celebrating his mentor. Again, these are his mentor. Does this mean he scammed you money? Let me be straight up with you, okay? From my overall assessment, I wouldn't trust Dr. Akintayo Stevens, okay? But I'm trying to tell you, if you're part of the Prestige family, it's not relevant. It's not really relevant. The reality is that there's a lot of thieves out there. I don't know if he's one of them, okay? There's a lot of cheaters, thieves, and liars out there. And some of them, they were not born that way. They might find themselves in desperate situation where they have bad business practices. Maybe they're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. Maybe some people said he set up a whole scheme. They're called G-Vest, where what's the role? The idea here is probably trying to build a community where he builds people like him, because it's probably trying to learn everything about leverage so that people like him will kind of duplicate him, and then he will have a large organization and lots of money is coming in. It's probably trying all types of gimmicks, probably scam likely, to do all that. And like I said in that small video, he's probably have some of those people that are also desperate, and they will tell lies to get people into the scheme. So now they're saying G-Vest was an app and it's now shut down. It's no longer existing. Yeah, like that's not the proof of a scam, because many companies go and come and go like that. And yes, a lot of time people lose money, but we have what we call sophisticated investors that know what they're getting into. So when they pay for it, they're betting on it to win. If it doesn't win, it doesn't matter. They keep it moving, because when one wins out of 20 plays, they win big time, right? Imagine somebody who invested in Tesla 15, I don't know how long ago, but years ago, right? But that was one of 20 plays, and then the 20 is collapsed, but Tesla has won big, right? Just imagine that, right? So now you now turn around, those ones that did not play Tesla did not turn around and say, it was all a scam. No, it doesn't work like that. You are the scam. Okay, because you don't understand how this whole thing works. The company you work for, the person that started it probably started multiple companies before that one started winning, before they start hiring you. Okay, does that mean there's no scam artists out there? No. Does that mean that Dr. Stephen Akintoye is not a scam artist? I don't know. What I'm saying is, focus on your focus. You're focused on the wrong thing. Okay, you're focused on the wrong thing. From my assessment, from looking at the way he's moving, there's not a lot of clean business going on over there. It looks like they're confused and they're running too many things at the same time. There's no focus, there's no clarity in what he's actually offering. So I wouldn't touch him with the pole. Okay, I wouldn't touch him. I just wouldn't. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. So again, I just want to be clear on that. Let's listen a little bit again to Auntie Adoni, because she's the one I was watching that I said, let me just come and hang out, do like a quick watch party, and I had my commentary here. Because she doesn't want victim shaming on her end. It's okay. No, while I can always respect people's platforms. Listen.
And can be advertised by government that if you want to buy, but he said those land under big Beriko, as in somewhere in a bush, that can develop later, much later, maybe 20 years, 30 years. But when they advertise it, you can go there to go and view. You have not bought it. Oh, is it that Stephen Akintayo? Is it that the land you went to view, this land you are showing us here? I will play it, but mute it.
you are banking.
Ní sùúrù.
I want to do land banking in the US. Never do land banking in Nigeria.
This land you are showing us, has it been bought? Or you just went there?
So if I was on that land about 2 or 3 years ago when it was filming that land, right? If I was on that land and I was filming, that land looked like something I wouldn't remember if I had already bought that land or not. Especially if I'm doing large business. Again, all this is just content, right? I wouldn't be sure if I'm doing it at the large scale that it was advertising. I wouldn't be sure. That land looked like it can easily be somewhere in Igbeduleki somewhere too. Just because the sky looks clean doesn't mean you can't find a nice spot where you can take that picture in Nigeria. It doesn't mean anything. That does not tell us anything. The only thing it tells us is that he is marketing. Okay. Now, in my opinion, his marketing is flawed. Okay, because there are loopholes in his marketing. Well, maybe not necessarily true, because obviously some people give their money. But for me, I was seeing red flags everywhere, with the way he advertises. It's just too many, too many holes, particularly because of real estate, I'm looking at a comment here on just in Googling his name. I see something that says, one of my followers said that I am the Grant Cardone of Nigeria. Well, I quite agree with him, because Grant Cardone has made me push out my creativity more. Okay, so like I said, proof. Grant Cardone is his mentor. But Grant Cardone, even though Grant Cardone does very well with his branding and all that kind of stuff, this market is heavy. It's everywhere. Market domination, right? But even at that, he caught fire. He caught stray bullets a few times. Okay, and also Grant Cardone don't have any problem suing people. He gets sued too, So again, this is not just this is not your moment to say, Nigeria. Somebody said Nigeria is a shithole country. This is what we do to ourselves. There's no system to protect. No, there's no systems to protect you. If you don't know how to do your own due diligence, if you're not patient, if you have too much money laying in the bank from all that years of work, 9 to 5 you've been doing, or 12 hours a day you've been doing, and you're not patient enough to educate yourself before you invest, there's no system in the world to protect you. I'm warning you right now. Okay, there's no system in the world. If you hand over your money, just 2 days ago here, my stupid mistake. Okay, they're doing something in our church. I'll tell you the truth. They do something in our church. They said, well, send Zelle. Just Zelle, transfer this money through Zelle, through somebody's phone number into this group of $100 from my church. One digit was missing. I haven't checked if they return my money or not. Okay. One digit was missing. And the name is supposed to be one Mr. Is it OG? Something like that. But the name actually verified. It told me like, hey, it's Margaret I'm sending money to. But me, I'm like, Nigerian people, they're probably using their sister's name or something. I was too lazy. I'm giving you a real life example, just $100, not $18,000. You're right? But $100 is a lot of money for me. Okay. So I said, man, I was too lazy. Boom, sent. So by the time they start, the man said, one of the elders in the church said, you sent money. That I've not seen it though. That this is mine. I said, but the number I can see now already. The number you're calling me from, the person called me through WhatsApp. Already, I can see that there's one digit that's not accurate. I was like, ouch. Okay, so I had to send another $100 to replace that. Then I called my bank to say, hey. Then they said they will try to see if they can get it back from me. They will try to. There's no protection on that money because they warned you. There was multiple steps. They warned you before you sent that money. Verify that this is the person you want to send this money to. Right? Was I a victim? Yes, of $100. Can I really play the victim? No. Can I? Okay, it depends on to who. Can I play the victim to my bank? No. You were warned. You had multiple opportunities before you send that money. Right? So it hurt. So I said they will try. They put in the case. They'll say, I haven't checked. They might be able to get me the money back. If the person, but honestly, if you send money like that directly, wire to people, If it's gone, it's gone. There's no systems to protect you. If nobody have a gun to your head and you're just sending money willy-nilly to people and you don't have lawyers, especially real estate, in the name of real estate, you didn't see the land, you don't have any paperwork, you don't have any documents, there's no deed, there's no real estate transaction agreements. Yeah, it's a bad idea. I'm looking at what Stephen posted here, 1:14 a.m. Is that today? No, a few days ago. He said, where were you when my mother died because we didn't have 800,000 naira? Okay. One of the problems with Stephen Akintayo, reason why he's getting dragged is because he doesn't know what to answer to, what he shouldn't answer to, which tells me that he's terrible when it comes to market empathy and emotional intelligence. Okay, he's answering and then he's also using this time to post testimonials of people who had invested $18,000. Yeah, could it work? It is not going to work. Okay, if anything, your reputation is about to go straight.
We go explain because no evidence.
Yeah, it's about to go straight in the poto. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, the first sec. I'm posting something to a backstage. Join the backstage, guys. Join the backstage. It's lolaanola.com/backstage. All right, shout out to the 4 of you watching me live. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to Black Diamond. I see you. Shout out to Gracious Greatness. All right, so now back to what we're saying. See, so there's a testimonial thing, $18,000 testimony thing that he posted. I want to see if I can play that for you guys. Yeah, so yesterday he did a quote unquote an $18,000 mentee. I'll show you guys. See this $18,000 mentee testimony session. This is a bad idea in the middle of dragging because of $18,000. Okay, another one here that says Stephen Akintayo and his 18,000 hypnosis mentorship. Wala. Anyway, but let me play. This one is actually on his channel. So let me play this one. Now we'll take it from there. Let's see. I played it a little bit earlier on, so let's see. I have to refresh, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. Let me play it. Share screen. All right, here we go. Welcome, Uncle Patrick. Happy Sunday, sir. All right, here we go.
Leverage your sensation.
Here we go.
And then the court will then rule, number one, that they should return my money back. Number two, maybe they should give me compensation. Do you see what I'm saying? But social media is not a court of law. And I say to people, if you really genuinely feel people didn't treat you right in business,
social media is not the court of law.
Fake news, and you are just leveraging on sensation. Right? Is it like situations that should have even happened where people should have gotten money back, should have gotten compensation, didn't happen. You know why? Because they didn't even file it the way they should file it. Right? Which is that, hey, there's a civil case. I had a transaction with Mr. So. Right? He did not do what I expected, and here are my evidence, and the court will rule. Okay? But again, we live in a world where people are miserable. You are talking over 200 million people. A data just came out that say only 3%, 0.3% Nigeria has $1 million in their account. It used to be 2%, right? Years ago, during Sanusi. Is now 0.3, right? So people can't understand why somebody will charge $18,000. Do you know there are people already say, you know, EFCC go after the guy for what? Right? I saw Punch newspaper also leveraging on the sensation, right? So I wish Punch had mentioned my name. I would sue their life.
All right.
I really wish Punch had done it.
Wait. So in terms of Punch mentioning his name, he will sue their life. Let's check out something real quick. All right. So he doesn't. It doesn't fully understand life, the game of life. He doesn't fully understand it. That's what all of this is telling me. Okay. That's what all of this is telling me. Let me see here. There's a post here. I think it might be important. Let's see. Okay. No, that's not the post I'm looking for. All right. So let me go under news, right? He wishes the Punch had mentioned his name, he will sue their life. So when I Google his name, I go under the news tab. I can see here EFCC fumes as motivational speaker demands $18,000 for mentorship. I'm gonna read that. I think it's the same article, probably on Business News Nigeria, right? Also, he has an article here from September 2024 on Forbes. Remember the title, the most influential real estate investor in Africa? The title was given to him by Forbes, but that's easy. It just means somebody wrote an article and they did interview a couple of people that were visible, and it's still worth something. I'm just saying that's what that is. It doesn't mean that's not your cue to not do your own education. That's the point I'm making. You should always educate yourself, regardless of what kind of accolades, awards that anybody is presenting. Those awards are worth something. So that's the more reason you must do your investigation. Okay. All right. So let me see here. So on Punch Nigeria, they I think they did mention his name. They mentioned his name right there, Stephen Akintayo. It's not swing shingbai. There's no swing or any swing going on. Forget that thing. It's not gonna happen. There's no swing, nothing. There's nothing to sue for. They can make reports on what's trending on social media or what the people are talking about. So he's going to sue, yeah, whatever. EFCC has expressed disapproval after a motivational speaker demanded $18,000 for a mentorship program. The spokesperson for EFCC, Dele Oyewale, warned Nigerians against investing their money in schemes that could put them in trouble. The fee, equivalent to nearly 30 million naira, that's $18,000, sparked debates on social media, with some users slamming the poster Stephen Akintayo. Checks by our correspondent revealed that the flyer on the program contained no account details, and people who expressed interest were instructed to send a private message. On Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, Akintayo posted on his Facebook page, okay, April 23rd, that he had 10 slots for a 101 mentorship and access program for $18,000, adding that 2.5 million naira could be paid on the day the post was made and the balance spread over 12 months. In the post, the investment coach made several promises, including access to a billionaire coaching community and 45 of his books. Reacting, Oyewale said, "There is a trace of Ponzi scheme in that arrangement. People need to be careful about where they put their money." Okay, is that victim shaming? No, it is not. Okay, that should just be the obvious. Obviously, right? He also noted that it was unlawful to charge in dollars, adding that the EFCC frowned upon such an act. And I quote, "It is not proper to charge in dollars. One of the campaigns we are doing is against the dollarization of our economy. For anyone to offer a mentorship program in dollars is a violation of the laws of the land," he added. Well, here's the thing. I think he was doing it from America, but he also has a home in America. One of the issues with Dr. Akintayo is struggling with the lines between humility and just arrogant, particularly with respect to the market. Your arrogance will be used to drag you, as per normal on a normal day. You know, they will drag you with your arrogance. Okay, so he needs to clean up his act. It's not looking good from an optics standpoint. It doesn't look good. Nigerians on social media also expressed mixed reaction to the matter, criticizing the scheme. A Facebook user, Okemba, said anyone who could afford the requested amount didn't need mentorship from investment coaches. This is something a broke person will say. Like I said earlier on. When I say broke, I'm saying it relatively speaking. I'm just saying, like, obviously you're speaking about yourself. You're projecting. Okay. He said he or she only needs to focus or double down on what produced that income while reading books and going for events. Do you know how many plots of land 18K can get in different parts of Nigeria, or how much yield in federal government treasury bonds that money can produce in a year or 6 months? Here's the issue with that. Do you know how many people have gone even from here, America, to Nigeria and buy plots of lands, and they can't find the lands, or they took it from them, or they sold it to multiple people? Right? Those ones are also crying about money being stolen from them too. Okay? Right? Those want the same message I have today goes to them. Your due diligence. Do your due diligence. But Allah, you can't say that. Some people did their due diligence and they still got their money stolen. Yeah, sorry, charge that to the game. Okay, typically that's not the case, because if that's always the case, you will have a war zone. Okay, so you probably did not do your due diligence. Somebody sold you a dream, or they sold you a land in the middle of nowhere, and they sold you a dream that they're about to build a shop right there. It was just a word of, there's no proof of that. They just did a salesmanship on you. Okay, so all of this does not, $18,000 for mentorship. Again, listen to me clearly. $18,000 for mentorship is nothing. The issue here is the optics. The issue here is his marketing, his sales manship is tacky. That's the issue. It's marketing to the wrong audience. Okay, that's what someone bold-facedly is. Somebody said that's what someone bold-facedly is asking for as a mentorship fee. Bold-facedly as a mentorship, and some people with low self-esteem and intelligence issue will pay and later regret it. It's not necessarily. Again, you don't know where people are in life. Okay, so I don't want to judge even the victims. That's not the key here. The key here is to protect you. Learn how to protect yourself, because this mindset right here, you're probably going to lose $18,000 in other ways. It will just be mentorship, because you keep telling yourself that there's no mentorship worth $18,000. It's nothing. You just lose that $18,000 in other ways. Maybe you waste a lot of time on BS instead of surrounding yourself with the right people. Yes, you can lose $18,000 over a period of time. It's still $18,000 and time that you lost. So the key here is to educate yourself. Make sure you understand what you're investing in. If there's no demand for it, right, there won't be a supply for it, right? And to just think that there's nothing you can learn for $18,000 from access to people, no, that's projecting. That's big time projecting. So this EFCC guy is or somebody who is making a comment is saying for mentorship fee, and then you can double down on how you. So I can spend last 3 months and I brought in $18,000. Real life examples. I spent money, brought in $3,000. The next 3 months over, it did not work. So now I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling desperate. I'm feeling like, but I now have this one person that it's not even true. They seem to be doing it successfully. So they say, hey, bring $1,000. I'll show you how to do it. But I still have the $18,000 on the bank account. I said, yeah, take $1,000 so I can make another $18,000. That's how you measure value. You don't measure value off of your own experience. You have to look at, is there a marketplace for it? Then in terms of delivering the actual value would be another conversation. Okay, because now we're speculating that he couldn't deliver a mentorship worth $18,000. We don't know that. What I can tell you is to protect yourself. If you don't see value in something, do not buy. And make sure the value you're seeing in anything you're about to spend your money on is not sentimental. Make sure that nobody has ate up into your emotions, greed, fear, right? Desperate, unstable. Make sure you educate yourself on what you're investing in. Okay. All right. So, and when the product or service is transformational in nature, it's there's no amount on it. There's no amount you can put on it. The amount is what somebody is willing to pay for it, because it means transformation to them, not to you. If you don't understand what I just said, you will always struggle with value, with understanding what value is. Value is in the eyes of the beholder, not all in your eyes or your own assessment of the situation. If it's transactional, which is most transactions, right? Then there's a marketplace. There's a big marketplace to determine that, oh, something is too expensive, right? You look at it, you say, okay, all right, they sell it on the other side over there for less. So let's go by the other side now. Oh, no, but I want this guy. See that, then that person is deciding to work with that person. They've chosen, they have a conviction that this is the person that can help me. So there's that one supply. Guess what that does? Basic economics. It shoots the price up, much more up, right? So we can go in the market, we can pick anything. This glass is okay. This glass is worth $67. As a matter of fact, if you travel just 5 minutes away, there's somebody selling it for $67, right? If you have enough of, but the fact that you have to travel 5 minutes away can change the price. Yes, it can. All right, so are you being scammed by the people 5 minutes away? No, they are 5 minutes away. You have to travel there. It depends on the locality of how you're determining the value too, right? Somebody said, but this house right here that you're selling here in New Jersey for $500,000, you can build it for $30,000 in Nigeria. I was like, Lord help me, Jesus help me. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. Let me drop the link. All right, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I'm dropping the link for anybody who wants to come and chime in. Protect yourself, guys. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Oh, let's see here. Uncle Pa say, why is using statistics to drag Nigerians? He they play 18k is a lot. Yeah, so when you say 18k is a lot, I'll take that as your truth, as your personal truth, right? Let's see here. If most Nigerians don't have up to 1 million naira in their account, why is demanding such huge amount of money from Nigerians? I mean, there are 200 million people in Nigeria. Again, he can demand any amount he wants as long as people are willing to pay for it. The only thing he cannot do is steal money from people, which a lot of people are coming out and they're saying his business practices has actually led to money being stolen from them. That is the problem. So there are two conversations going on. There is his mentorship worth $18,000. Are people now coming out of the woodworks claiming that he's scamming people? When I combine the fact that he's now suddenly asking for $18,000 in mentorship, combined with a lot of people now allegedly saying that they bought a land and they were being assigned another land, or they were not assigned. Somebody actually said that he paid 40 million naira and his land was not been assigned since 2020. Somebody said on Akintayo's platform, right? So when you mix that all together, it looks very bad. Okay. So I can see that, I can see why people feel the way they feel. Let's see here. Let me see. I think there's a call going on here. Let's listen in a little bit to Akintayo.
Realize it. So he actually introduced me also to some of his businesses. That was when he started coming to US newly. And he started with app building, drop shipping, meaning importation, what do you call it, bulk business, bulk SMS himself, cryptocurrency, crypto mining, and the like. Okay, so at least like somebody you already know before and then you met outside the country, we're kind of one of the...
He has deleted my link.
Sorry?
They said he has deleted my link on his post. Matthew Lofisipada. Go ahead.
So, I subscribed to the app building. And, he talked about it and everything. I made efforts, to build on the business. My concern then was that, okay, if you're introducing me to a business, even if it's making waves in Nigeria, you're coming outside, you should first do your research. Be sure that that business can actually work with our system before introducing me to it and collecting money. You telling me that I should subscribe and get trained in this particular thing and I can have a business on the side gives me an impression that, okay, you've done your due diligence, you've done your research, and you know that, okay, if you sell it to this environment, it will work. So when I started all those things, I started getting stuck in the process, and I'm like, this thing is not working. Nigerian business and the regulations around.
All right, so that's somebody else saying that they bought something, some kind of program, has to do with I don't know. I think she said something about e-commerce, all this kind of stuff. Dr. Akintayo seems to be selling a lot of those kind of things behind the scenes. As a matter of fact, he said his background is digital marketing, so there's a lot of those things going on behind the scenes. It looks like so more and more people are coming out of the woodworks. I'm going to play this video. I think somebody just came into the studio. I'm going to play this video and then we'll continue.
I will have sued them and it will have been war. Real war with Punch newspaper, and I dare them to try it. I dare them. Okay? So people, they too were leveraging on that sensationalism, right? And then put EFCC, whatever. EFCC has an official page now. Did you see them mention my name there? Right? I'm an international businessman. I don't live in Nigeria in the last 5 years. I only invest in Nigeria. In fact, I remember one of my mentors was still telling me recently, he said, I want to thank you for still not giving up on Nigeria. With your massive growth international, people still don't know in 17 years I have not declared profit in Nigerian business. 17 years. Meanwhile, Dubai business is making profit. You are about to make profit. In 17 years. Because it's about employing more people, giving back, trying to keep things running. Okay? But it's a vicious circle. And like I told you, if you then let them enjoy it, right, they now think that they can keep doing after you. When I am done, guys, on this 18K matter.
Mentorship program. I
all right. I will listen to this and I'll hear you.
And I said, I don't really have that kind of money for the mentorship program. Can I please pay what I have? And honestly speaking, DSA was magnanimous enough to just allow me at that time. Do you understand? So what people really don't understand is DSA is a very simple person and does not put money on his head. Truly, if you're interested in the program and then you approach him, honestly speaking, the team and himself will be accommodating enough to bring you on board. So once more, please, can I please celebrate DSA?
DSA.
And, so back to my
okay, all right. Hold on 1 second.
After
let me see here.
Masterclass course in Abuja around.
Let me see here.
I then joined the mentorship program around April, and really it was an eye-opener. It was explosive. I had a one-on-one meeting with DSA at Transcorp where he put me through on what I was supposed to do as far as my business was concerned. And then at some stage, an opportunity showed up. DSA had made some adverts that they needed land in Kaduna, Abuja, and some strategic locations. I then found one guy who wanted to sell some plots in Kaduna. I remember reaching out to the office and saying to the office that this land is there for you guys to procure. And then the staff, I can't remember his name, reached out to me and said, you know what, we'll get back to you. I called again, he was like, we'll get back to you. So one day I was just looking at the photocopy on my phone, and then it dawned on me that, hey, you've gone through the masterclass, you signed up for the mentorship program, you can do this on your own. So I looked at it and said, you know what? I said to the landowner, I'll buy the property. You see, that guts, you only learn it from DSC. With nothing. And let me say the truth to you guys, I had only 3,000 naira in my account at that time.
3,000 naira.
Last year. 3,000 naira.
All right. So, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Happy Sunday, sir.
Happy Sunday.
Yes, sir. So, do you know there's another DSA, sir? Are you familiar with another DSA? His name is Dr. Stephen. His own name is Dr. Stephen Akintayo, right? You know another DSA.
No, I know this guy. Stephen Akintayo.
Okay, but do you know there's another DSA? Are you familiar with him?
No.
Dr. Sunday Adilaja, sir.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. So Dr. Sunday Adilaja has been accused of similar things in the past. He also has programs where people pay. There was a lady that was actually dragging him before the Ukraine collapse and everything. There's a lady that was actually dragging him on the internet to that, some scammy behavior and stuff like that. But I'm looking at a post here. It says, "Thank God." It was posted by one Israel Balogun. Just on the 24th, said, "Thank God for mentors like Dr. Sunday Adilaja. I'm deeply grateful for mentors like Dr. Sunday Adilaja, who never asked for anything in return for his mentorship. Instead, he gave us his shoulders to stand on and open doors we could never have entered alone. When I met Dr. Sunday Adilaja, I had nothing. I was poor, without direction, but he gave me access to his platform and launched me to the world. Through him, I connected with people from across the globe, and that marked the beginning of my journey toward fulfilling my dreams. If I were the only person in his online work ever impacted, I would gladly dedicate my life to reproducing millions like me. But I'm not alone. There are many of us, both known and unknown, quietly laboring and making impact, all because one man chose to give freely. When I heard a pastor and a businessman, Stephen Akintayo, another DSA, announced a 101 mentorship program for $18,000, I couldn't help but reflect, what would have become of me if Pastor Sunday had asked me for $18,000 for mentorship? I would have missed out on purpose, destiny, and transformation. Hold on 1 second, sir. There's another post here by Stephen Akintayo on the 25th of April. The issue is, again, this tone that is given right here is also playing a victim. That's the problem. He's playing the victim when a bunch of people are playing victim. He said, where were you when my mother died because we didn't have 800,000 naira to send her to private hospital and she died of ovarian cancer? Where were you when I paid tuition?
Business.
Yeah.
That one got to do with his business. Ola, I'm so angry.
I know.
His PRO is zero.
It's zero, exactly. Hold on, sir. Let me finish reading this. He said, where were you when I paid tuition of over 5,000 kids in the last 10 years without making noise about? Where were you when I gave grants to small businesses even to the tune of $5,000 each? Did you make that trend? Where were you when I paid Grant Cardone? Hey, I knew it. Grant Cardone and other US mentors over $1 million in the last 10 years developed myself. I think that's a lie. Personally, I think that's a lie. He said, where were you when I have done over 3,000 videos for you on YouTube for free? How dare you reflect yourself on me? If it's poverty, I have been poor. If it's living in Nigeria, I have lived in Nigeria before moving to the US. I live in the US and pay bills in the US. Nigerians are not the only followers I have on Facebook. All my followers are not poor. If you're poor, speak for yourself. But don't put everyone in one box. I have the God-given right to charge. I have the God-given right to charge for my services. You can either afford it or move on. Life is in phases. I'm not your president. You don't vote for where I am today. I am not your governor. I am not your senator. I don't owe you and you don't owe me. If you can't afford what I sell, move on. But you will not bully me on my page. I spent years building it. Most Nigerians are bullies. I often say Nigeria is a country of mostly bullies for the bullies and by the bullies. Many times the biggest bully win in Nigeria, but I am not your regular Nigerian. I am very exposed and don't use Naira to dictate my economy. I didn't jump up. I grew up, and that's why I have stayed up. I am not perfect, and so are the bullies. What gives you the right to point the finger as though you are perfect? You cannot be poor and proud at the same time. You cannot bully me to reduce my price. Go to my YouTube and get free 3,000 videos. Only 3 slots left, and we close the offer for the $18,000, and 1 kobo will not be further reduced from it. You can't place prices on my intellectual property. It's mine and it's priceless. In a football field of 40,000 people, only 22 players, referee, and coaches are paid. The fans don't get paid. They even pay to enter the field. At the end of this dragging, myself and the student joining the coaching will be richer and the draggers will be poorer so they can continue to drag. I wish you well in your dragging business. I have real business to run. Keep dragging as I make money. I only wish you are paid draggers. Stephen Akintayo is my name. The only alleged billionaire charging $20,000 from the poor. Who told you the advert is for the poor? Who told you only poor people follow me out of over 705,000 on Facebook? Chai, poverty is indeed a disease of the mind and not the pocket. May we not have this disease in Jesus' name. Go ahead, sir. I just wanted to read that so you can have some context.
Yeah. Allah, I'm sorry. I follow this guy. I even one of his marketers. So a lady in Nigeria that would talk. What's up? But this guy, the way he talks is a PRO 0. Anybody can be dragged, but you don't have to talk at this level. This guy began to sound like Pastor Adegboyega. I'm serious.
Who's Pastor Adegboyega? Who's that?
The one in London. That pastor.
Oh. Is that Adegboyega?
Yeah, his name is Adegboyega.
Oh, I don't know that. Oh, you talk about PT. Pastor Toby. Okay.
Yeah, Toby.
Okay.
To sound like Pastor Toby Adegboyega, which is wrong. You can charge $50,000 to mentor people, but it depends on the caliber of people. If you don't have money, it depends on the level of business you are dealing with. If you have not done that kind of business before and you want more profit, you can't go for it.
Yeah.
I know the example is using Nigeria. Most Nigerians don't have 1 million in their account. You don't have to be saying that. You are not.
Yeah, you don't have to speak to that at all.
Yeah, you don't have to drag Nigerians because of that. Let me tell you, we have a lot of people. Some people, if they are selling something for $50 in Walmart, you would rather prefer to buy it from Walmart rather than going to Costco to go and buy it for $10. Every store have their own loyalists. So this guy don't even have to come out at all and be saying, when my mother, we didn't have, what concern people with that? You don't have to say that. Tony Olumolu is there giving people the money. I have people that is mentoring millions of dollars for people to invest. Have you ever seen Olumolu coming out to talk and say, no?
Or to address naysayers?
Yeah,
or to say somebody said something. Yes,
I'm so disappointed in the guy with the language, the way he's talking. People anybody can write anything on the Facebook or whatever. That's not you.
Yes.
Oh, he's too so low. I'm so disappointed.
Thank you so much. That's the lesson I'm trying to get out of this. That's the lesson. Because
so
it could be any of us. Yeah.
In America, some people even somebody even will post, you will not even see. You see, everybody will be answering. That means you are not busy.
That means you're not busy. Exactly.
He's gonna drag punch, take punch to court. You don't have to go to that level. Oh my God, I'm so disappointed.
What's the difference between dragging punch and then silencing media? There's no difference. You're gonna drag them because they make a report or something that's clearly going trendy on the media. It doesn't make any sense. So Dayo James said, I thought he can't go back to Dubai. There's also a lot of reports around the businesses they have in Dubai that is bad. Like bad businesses.
A lot of people are charged. People are crazy in Nigeria with this thing that just happened. Is it T-Bex or whatever?
Yes, right now. Exactly.
Yeah, so people don't want to believe anybody. They're going to drag you even though your business is legit.
Yeah.
So people are mad. People have lost money.
Yeah.
So you don't have to respond. Let that one die down. And you have your own people that you cater for. People that are not into business. Maybe I told you I have somebody that I'm talking with. I don't have to talk to him directly.
Yes, exactly.
I also have a PA in Nigeria that if I want to do something, I can send that person there to find out. So this guy is just dragging himself in the mud. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Yeah, and he's giving it attention now. Somebody was already saying they called Showore, and Showore is going to ask his people as our reporters to look into it. And if those people see shady stuff, they will report, and you cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, they will report now.
Yeah, so
going on, people are they want to find out is your business legit.
According to one of the guys that called into this anti-show, he collected 10 million naira for one land each, about 2 land or something like that. Allegedly, he showed up to Nigeria. I said, "Can somebody show me where the land is?" And nobody was answering the call anymore. So by the time they wanted to show land, he had already left Nigeria. He came to Nigeria, and at some point, I might be mixing the stories together. At some point, somebody said, he now said, "Oh, you owe us developmental fee for additional 4.5 million naira per land."
The land the man didn't even see.
That he didn't see. So that once he paid that, and then somebody was supposed to go, and I think he said he paid, and then he had somebody to go and see them so they can show the land, and they were showing a different land entirely. And and I've seen Dr. Akintayo educate people on YouTube on what to look out for so that they don't get scammed when it comes to land. What I've seen, I haven't seen him sell land. What I heard him say is that was his background. He was a real estate agent or something like that. That was one of his background, including digital marketing when he was still new in Nigeria. That's the story he tells, because it was actually featured on Dear Future Wifey a while, like 5 months ago or so. And then he said, shout out to Tonya. Tonya, I see you. How are you, my dear? Good to see you. So he now said the money that the developmental thing, right? The guy they were showing different land, completely different thing entirely, So, but his story is that he sells, But what I've seen advertised in the last 2 years, correct me if I'm wrong, on Daddy Freeze and other platform he's gone to, is more of a joint investment.
Yes, you are right.
And then he has one in Dubai, and then he has a big one in Houston. He's developing a real estate development in Houston, which is what we're looking at on the screen. A picture that one of the videos.
In one of his conference.
So people are already mentioning Dr. Shala's names in Auntie Adune's comments too. That is involved.
I don't even know him doing anything in Nigeria. The lady I was talking to was talking about the what's it called? Texas real estate development. And if I can put money, I still have the lady information, everything.
Yeah. So I already, when he was advertising, my background is in real estate, and when they start to advertise that kind of stuff, I take it with a pinch of salt. There are people that have donated money together, private funds, and have done real estate investment successfully.
Yes, my friend did that in Texas. Now he told me about his classmates. This guy worked for more than 40 years. He made money. His friend they have in Texas.
Yes, but there are also people that have invested in there's a guy called J Morrison. Let me see if I can pull his name up real quick. His name is J Morrison. He's gone under now, but he raised like $10 million from what they call he called it Tulsa Real Estate Funds. Okay, you see his page right now. Can you see this, sir? If you look at your screen right now. Yeah. His page has only one picture now, and there's no mention of Tulsa Real Estate Funds. He has 621,000 followers. He's now following 0 people. He's no longer following his wife. From speculations, he might be in trouble with his wife too, because the wife didn't really know his background by the time they got married in the height of his popularity. He raised all $10 million funds from regular people. The minimum to enter was $500. $500 represented 10 shares. So it's $50 per share. So the minimum was $500. And in like an overnight, he raised $10 million because he had the followership. $500 minimum to me sounds like a disaster from the get-go. You know why, sir? People that have disposable $500 laying around and they get enticed into quote-unquote a real estate investment, it's a red flag. These are poor people, and they will drag you with that money. This is their last money in the bank
Yes,
account. And then on top of that, because they are busy dragging, you are busy spending all your energy on customer service. Because somebody is calling into the line, somebody is sending emails, when am I going to yield something? That is going to consume a certain amount of energy.
Yeah. It's
That's
a big distraction.
yes.
Distraction.
It's big distraction from actually looking for deals and doing deals.
Yes, people will not trust you. Other people will be worried about the big money they invested.
Yes. So eventually, guess who led the dragging? One guy was the biggest investor. I forgot his name now. He was the biggest investor in, let me see if I can find his name. I'll put his name out there.
Are the people that be worried?
Sir.
I know. I just said it, Ola.
Yeah. He was the biggest investor. Guess how much his investment was, sir?
How much?
$40,000.
It's not even much.
Exactly, sir. He invested $40,000 and then he started leading the dragging of this particular program. You know,
That's
he started
is making mistake. Don't bring in people of Nigeria. They will drag you to affect other businesses. You don't even have to say.
Exactly. Exactly, sir.
That's a Yoruba adage. When they
I've never heard it before, but I'm sure, sir. I'm sure.
If carry somebody chicken, and not go and carry somebody chicken that can talk, by that the person tell them all over the world.
Yep.
Oh,
so this guy right here that you're looking at on the screen, this is him right here. His name is Julian Gordon. Then he started dragging him. Okay. The top investor in the Tulsa real estate fund calls out Jay Morrison and demands liquidation before bankruptcy. Wow. So he said, I am the leading investor in the Tulsa real estate funds. This is here. People say, in Nigeria, there's still money. There's still money everywhere. Protect yourself. I'm warning you now. There's still money everywhere. So, and when I say steal money, I say that lightly. I'm not talking about these guys because I don't know if they stole your money, but because they didn't put a gun to your head to donate your money. Most likely, if you are donating, see how I call it donation, $500 of your hard-earned money into real estate investments. Most likely, you don't know what you're doing. Most likely, you too, you are a scam. A little scam is in you. You want to make a lot of money from nothing. That $500 should have gone into investing in your education so you can do your own investment on your own. You can't miss when you invest in yourself. Yes, the scammer will also use that talking points too, by the way. They will say invest in yourself and they will try to take your money. It is what it is. It's an open marketplace. Again, as long as if they don't force it out of you, then there's no case. There's no case. You got lured into it. So this thing says, I am the leading investor in the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, a fellow developer and a friend of Jay Morrison, and I am extremely disappointed in the performance of Jay and the fund. This was posted 2023 when this started to happen. He said, as of December 31, 2021, the fund only had $772,000 in cash from the original $11.5 million, not naira, dollars. The $11.5 million is only worth $4.3 million now. That's a 64% loss or $7.4 million. Okay. In cash, they have only $700,000. Shame, what's that?
What to do?
Yeah, it's called business, sir. After reaching out to help the struggling fund and meet in person or on Zoom since July 31st, I decided that I needed to share what I see from TREF. That's the abbreviation. TREF's recent June 2023 SEC filing publicly in hopes to inform the other 15,000 investors. You have 15,000 investors. Those are not investors. Those are customers. Those are customers that will drag you by your balls. Those are customers expecting to make 100% return on their investment in 1 month. They are also greedy. They have nothing else to do with their time. They will drag you. It's a bad idea. Raising money, private investment is a viable thing, but you have to have some things in place to protect your own interest. Tons of disclosure, because these people, they know if you tell them, say nothing is guaranteed, they still didn't hear it. What they're hearing is your testimonials. What they are hearing is how somebody else found money under their pillow. They're not doing the numbers. And rightfully so. I'm not even judging them. That's the way their brain is set up. That's why it is your responsibility as the fund manager to protect your fund. 15,000 people is too many people. It's just too many. It needs to be as small as possible, because the more people, the more you have to manage them. These are people, and majority of them is their last cash.
Them to even know how to pay them, and that's too much. You have to set up a big software that have been doing everything. No.
Yes, Abishi, I've actually spreadsheets in the 15,000 people. Look, the Microsoft Excel.
I don't know.
You see, so it's just a bad idea. I've always
try to develop to even monitor, their transaction process. Everything is a big one.
Yes, when they were launching it, part of the funds. You see, this is the guy right here. That part of the funds, they bought this big building. They call it the Black House. And part of his message was that for us, the name Tulsa came from the burn down of the Tulsa, Oklahoma thing.
Oh my God.
So they were that, like, our own people. Let's do our own people. As much as I love the idea of bringing our own people together and doing things together, Esa, our own people. Nobody drag more than black people. And by the way, on top of that, nobody drag more than Nigerians. It's just a bad idea. So does that mean we don't have? The point here is that focus on sophisticated investors. Recently, the SEC in America allowed people to raise money from non-sophisticated investors. Sophisticated investors would mean, I don't know the current numbers, but at that time, it means you are worth at least $1 million in net worth in terms of asset minus liability, and you make, not all, you make at least $200,000 a year. You know why they put those rules in place? Because they know people that have that kind of worth are probably easier to manage. They understand the nature of investments. They understand that it's going to take time. They understand that anything above 15-30% return on investment is probably a scam. So they're not expecting much. It's just another place for them to park some dollars where it's safe, right? So there are a lot less people that are worth $1 million and make $200,000 a year. Yeah, there are a lot less people. So now your marketing message to them also has to be sophisticated. You have to show them numbers, progressions. It's not going to be as simple as, you can make $1 million tomorrow and they won't give you ekpeni. Shishi. They will give you shishi if all you are saying is that you can double your money tomorrow, because they know it's a lie automatically. So even the SEC, the government agency, recognizes these differences in sophisticated and non-sophisticated. But this guy, so recently I think the SEC created a new thing because they wanted to boost the economy. Nothing is written in stone. So they created a new thing where you could file a special type of paperwork and you can now take money from non-sophisticated investors. It requires a little bit more and some discussion, but they allowed it. So these guys decided to take advantage of it, and then it backfired, sir. So even Grant Cardone did it. Grant Cardone used to focus only on sophisticated investors until they allowed this thing, and then he started raising money, and then before we know it, his name started to get dragged in the mud.
Yeah.
So it's bigger. You see that building? That's one of the things. But this is the biggest investment he got. Eventually, he sold it. So he sold it, and he probably sold it for less. He bought it in the middle of all that collapse going on somewhere around COVID. So he probably, another thing, sir, when you give people, a person that has never really worked hard for $12 million, and you just hand them your money because they're a good talker, they probably don't know what to do with that money. They're probably going to squander that money. So $12 million to a J. Morrison, a boy from the hood, a boy who used to sell drugs on the hood. He never graduated college. The only thing he can say for success is not even real success. Eventually, they found out that even though he was the Mr. Real Estate, he never really had a license. He never really closed deals. He was just a good talker. He talked a good game. So what do you think he's going to do with your $12 million? He's going to, like, only candy, nothing, Jessa.
What is working with the directors, management team goes a long way.
A board. Why? so that you can exactly, sir.
Yeah, it happens in company itself. Your father can own the company and you be CEO.
Exactly.
You don't have directors and people with the experience profession that can handle it. It's going to
exactly.
You just
exactly.
Family that don't know nothing.
Exactly. You need smarter people around you. You need a board.
Overhead. You hire people. Would you pay them?
Yes.
Lot of asset that you acquire and all those depreciation.
Exactly, sir. So somebody who, for me, somebody who took $12 million from people. That's not necessarily a dumb person, sir. That's a person who is a very intelligent person to a large extent. But it doesn't mean they're not a thief.
The insurance people, why are they making money?
They
invest the money in bonds, keeping it, that will bring in money.
Exactly.
Just taking your money and keeping in saving account or checking account.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. To be compounded. They are making profit as well.
Yeah. So listen to a little bit to this guy's speech. Okay, I'm connecting all the dots now. Again, these are the people that have similar business model to Dr. Akintayo Stevens, or Dr. Stephen Akintayo. This is a similar business model. The same thing with Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is a brash, abrasive, talking type of guy too, but from all looks of things, he looks like he understands the part of the game that there might be. He doesn't answer to. He answers occasionally, but he doesn't answer to every social media drag. During the COVID thing, he jumped on Clubhouse. He was a big part of the talking points on Clubhouse. And guess what happened? The people that actually dragged him are the people on Clubhouse, sir. Again, there's certain caliber of people you don't need to be doing such businesses with. To me, that's a bigger part of this for the Prestige family. I don't like the idea of you playing a victim. If you were a victim, I don't want you to repeat being a victim. I want you to protect yourself. I want you to understand that this life is a game. Business is a game. Relationship is a game. May the best player keep winning. That's what you want. Because there are incompetent people in this world. Listen to this one, sir. Listen.
1,000 people who are your biggest fans and believe in you, who he has since been alienated and really cut us off in many ways.
He says he began reading SEC filings and learned that both the SEC and DOJ had been conducting an investigation on the fund and Jay Morrison. It was revealed in 2019 that the government issued a subpoena seeking documents and information about the fund's operations, but nothing later came of it. And by May 2020, the investigation was closed. But Gordon says that he still noticed that the math wasn't mathing, that $11.7 million initially raised was being swallowed up, losing millions year over year, according to these SEC filings, with no recorded profits. And at the same time, the fund manager, Jay Morrison, was allegedly paying himself in management fees.
He's eaten over $1 million, almost probably $2 million by now in management fees. He's paid his wife through the organization. She used the facilities without probably any payment. She hosted her podcast there. She hosted her greenlit ATL events there. And I guarantee that there's no transactions of her paying us, the investors or the entity, for the usage of that space.
We spoke to Moncherie Robinson, who invested $500, the minimum required to join.
What's that?
Says that although it wasn't a lot of money, Morrison hasn't communicated much as to what's been going on.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
I just told you now. He's getting a salary of $2 million as management fee, paying his wife.
A total. Yeah. So for as a fund manager, but those things are inside of the disclosures. It's just that people who tend to donate $500, they don't read those disclosures, sir. Yeah. They don't read them. Over a period of time, yes, of course, it's collected $2 million. They bought a house from it. The wife was using the building, the black house, without quote unquote. There's no proof of rent, according to this guy.
Fee.
Yeah. So you invest in funds, even in the stock market, in the typical traditional stock market, market funding, fund manager, they have what they call the REIT, real estate investment funds, where you can actually invest in real estate. All of them, they have fund managers. People that tend to go in that direction, They don't read disclosure. They just know it's $500 that they are parking somewhere. They put it on their statement. Sometimes they get surprised. There's a fund, there's a yield something, the return. There's an earning or something like that. They will get the earnings might be $2, maybe $10. Maybe random $100 that came out of nowhere. You forgot you invested in it. You know, is that a good idea? I think it's a bad idea too. If you know where every penny goes, that's the point I'm making today. Every penny must be accounted for. Let's listen to Auntie Adini a little bit. Let's see what she's saying. Oh Lord.
Like I said, I'm not accusing him of anything, but these are questions that are worth asking. And if he loves himself, if he truly knows he's genuine, all he needs to do is to address these allegations. If he does not, then it is confirmed. If he does not address this allegation, it is confirmed. As for his victims, I want to believe they know what to do. And as for others,
all right, so he's addressing it on his channel, but in the worst way possible. He said, I've been listening to this video. Somebody posted here on her page, said, I've been listening to this video. What I noticed and want to enlighten people is that the training and book are a source of income. I can confidently say he has not made money from crypto. So apparently he sells crypto too, or drop shipping or others. More so, a professional will not be jack of all trades. Actually, that's true. You know, there's a side, because like I said, it's all over the place. It's like he touches everything. That's quite messy. We need to kind of know what you do. If really he is making such money from these sources, he wouldn't be to emphasize in training. He can. Training is part of the income source. It's part of revenue source. People offer that. In fact, it's part of what they're trained to do. Consulting is a big piece of the puzzle. It depends on how you frame it. But again, overall, it looks like it's dirty business. Or he got in trouble, or he's trying to redeem himself, he's trying to save himself. I know he moved to America. He lives in America now, but he goes back and forth. He's always going after one of his mentors is Baba Yedepo. You know, these are people who believe strongly in prosperity. He believes in tithes. He argues with Daddy Freeze all the time about tithes. When people believe in tithes, it depends on other things they talk about, sir, of course. But when there's certain people that believe in tithes because their mindset believes in Sogundogoji. It's a mindset thing. You know, they believe that once, you know, there's something somewhere that just magically, no, you have to build from scratch. That means if you fail sometimes, Otedola style, like Otedola lost everything some years back. But he didn't build from scratch. He built with the relationships he had. That's not overnight success. So if it's relationship, if it's consulting you want to offer, if you want to, because so now he's claiming in certain things that he wrote in other places too. He's also claiming that, is it your money that I used to buy $1 million house in America? You don't need to say things like that.
Yeah.
There's no need for that. You don't need to know how much the house I live in is worth. I don't see the point in that. Outside of just very it's unnecessary marketing, sir.
Yeah, how arrogant, self.
It's not necessary.
It talks too much.
I know some people claim that the more success you show, the more it breeds success. Some people claim that, and they say that's why you see a lot of these skit makers, they will show house. Even though it's obvious they can't afford the house. Many of them, they say, I bought my house. They will put that on social media because it generates a certain buzz in a country where they actually worship money. Nigerians, listen to me. You think you are dragging persons because no, the average person is actually right about something. The average person is about a better past my neighbor. It's about bullying each other. It's about I must show that God has. Sometimes we frame it as God has blessed me too, but it's a problem. It's part of the biggest problem there's at Mongboyinsa.
Ola, maybe you read this thing I read in your Money Now Water, the thing.
Which one was that? I think you posted something.
Yeah, where you talked about your training, 2,000 people wasting $30,000 for.
Oh, I didn't see that though. Abi,
Check it. I was the one. I was mad without added Money Now Water.
Money Now Water.
I hope people like that in Nigeria now. You got to work for money.
Yeah, the average person in Nigeria don't want to work for money, so they are pissed off when they see somebody else seem like they are having success. That is a part of the reason why they drag, sir.
Your video. This guy like being raw, what they call it. Nigeria, Obodo people they collect now. When
Which one?
It's only $1 that we spray in Obodo Ibo during party, you remember?
Yeah.
That we only spray $1 notes. That
Yes.
one of the
Yeah.
teachers said he won't come to America to come and play.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere.
You can see that guy that carried $100.
The bill, Diamond. Yeah.
I hate that one. Although I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own, you know. But it shows you, sir. It goes to tell you that that's what Nigerians worship. In general, of course.
Have you seen people spraying in a royal wedding?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of money. People say it's insensitive. In fact, recently I saw some people dragging the royal wedding, the Yabo Ojo's wedding, and they said, "But that's what people worship. That's what people want to see. That's what looks like success to an average Nigerian, to an average person that has been in overseas long enough. If you go to school, if you go to work, if you anywhere you go, nobody they see your car and they start parking lot somewhere buried.
Yeah."
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Ultimately,
now with the concerned people now you go pay card notes. So
is your own car now? Is it people even say, you how much money you make? Are you making it to my pocket? Why would I be counting your money?
Man,
so
I'm getting tired of the way the younger ones are behaving now. They just worship money and think that's the end of.
Yeah.
Party is not the end of life now. After your wedding, you're still gonna go into a house, deal with the marriage proper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
An issue. What do you
okay, I think I'm looking at. I think it's the comment on the. It's the comment that you had. I was looking for your comment. You said, "Job well done, Ola. Yeti Slay should have let her guard down and be positive." That's not the one you're talking about. I think that's a different one.
When you talk about your program, that's $2,000, $1,000 down, but some people are
yes.
I
was talking about another person's story though. I was talking about the story that people invest in their relationship or something like that. That's what I was talking about. I'm trying to recall what because I don't use that title. I use a different title. Yeah, but yes, it's true. People have money. It's just that there's certain, again, even in my messaging, because that was the message I was saying that they will filter certain things. I was talking about how people would rather spend $30,000 on a form of marriage coaching, which is the event, the big wedding, right? Yeah. And then they will come back and now learn later, and then they question $2,000, right? So yeah, it's the same issue across the board, sir. It's the same issue across the board. The $18,000, it sounds like a big deal to a lot of people. I think it's a fact. It's a big deal to a lot of people. But there are people paying $200,000 for mentorship and mastermind, and they're not dumb.
All about people and the kind of business that
Exactly. And that was the point I was making about Akintayo, that he's marketing to the wrong people.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be so publicly asking for that.
When there's CBS issue, when people are when a lot of Nigerians are in hospital right
now, right now in this environment,
because of CBEX, there's this thing you want to say to them, they will say it's fake for now.
Yes. The scooter business thing, sir. Remember I was talking about the scooter business.
Yeah.
And I did a session on it.
Yeah, you talk about red flag. I listened to it when you did it.
So I am of the opinion that shaming scammers is not going to protect you. What you need to do is learn what scams look like and avoid them, right? In fact, I posted into our backstage a video of some ladies that are actively promoting some of this stuff on YouTube, right here on YouTube, because back in the days you couldn't promote MLM or anything like that on YouTube, but they have ways that they mask it now. They will mask it as a digital business. They will mask it as digital business training. And so they allow them because there's actual training. But then some of the people in our backstage was now telling me that some of them drop $8,000-$10,000. By the time they start upselling you, they drop $8,000-$10,000 for these programs. And you know, so the day that Yawa is going to cast, sir, because right now they're not, at least they're not on social media making loud noise like Akintayo. It's easy to call out Akintayo right now, but some of our people who are calling these things scams they're involved actively in their own scam. What do I mean by their own scam? They're actively recruiting people into something they already know is a scam, and they're hoping that they can all take their own money out before he go to cast. So that's not scamish behavior, sir. If you are hoping to take your own money out before a cast, you are hoping that something that's clearly a scam is not a scam. Some of them are like that. They're hoping silently that I don't think it's scam, Jare. Even after I told you, spell it out that this one is a scam. I gave you the criteria and you know it's a scam. Some people are, so the scam thing here, you just have to be desperate enough to know. I'm looking for the post. So this is actually a personal person. I'm not going to say her name. We were at an event 3 days ago. I'm going to end with this. With an event, it was 2 nights ago, and I saw the videos dropped inside of my WhatsApp, and it says about the company. Again, I'm not mentioning the company's name because it says about the company and the company's background, but the company's name is a name that I know. Let's just call it the scooter business. So, and then I'm like, I was like, Adi, till join, wala, till join. I was like, so once they drop it like that, you know they're trying to recruit. And
you don't
have one chance, and that means they've dropped. Wow. That means they've dropped minimum of $2,000, sir. This particular company, okay. That means
I have kids in college.
Yes, sir. If I don't have money for that, even if I have money, I don't have, like I said, every penny must be accounted for. I don't have money for nonsense. You know, so and so when she dropped, I was at the event. If she watches my show, she will know now for the first time how I reacted to it. So in that moment in time, I doubt she watched my show. She's a personal person. Most of my personal persons don't watch my show. So and I said, I showed my wife. I was like, Auntie Joy, wala. So we were laughing, but it's a sad laugh because we know that minimum she's dropped $2,000, and she's about to promote something she doesn't understand fully.
You want that to you, right?
Yeah, she's trying to get me inside because that's where the bonuses are, right? When you get people to join, you have to recruit. So instantly, so I now told, sorry, Auntie, if you hear me saying this on my, because I don't know if you watch my show. Sometimes people watch and they don't tell me. So I now said, let me see what she has to say. Most in another way that's a little bit not nice. So when you good evening, ma. What is this one? I asked her. So of course I already know what is it, you know. And then she answered, good evening. Have you heard about, again, the company name is like an abbreviation before. It's a scooter rental company. Can you talk now? Of course, they always say, can you talk now? These are the telltale signs. And now people just desperately want to, suddenly they remind you, they want to offer you something that will change your life. Why don't you want to change your life? You should change your life too, right? So I said, I now answered the, have you heard of it? I said, oh, yes, I have. I have a lot of people in that. Okay, so at that point, when you say that to people, their mind goes, ouch. It's like a stab in their heart, right? It's like a disappointment. How do you know a lot? Because I've been there, done that. Okay. So he said, are you interested in it? See, you always try a little bit extra. Maybe they'll never know. Don't assume. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume they don't want it. So are you interested in it? What do you think about the business though? Okay, so when somebody asks, what do you think about the business? They are clearly an amateur. Okay, because they don't teach them to ask that question. You don't ask any question that can lead to a negative answer. You should only ask questions that lead to only yeses. That's why there are people actually that train this and they call them the yes masters. You only ask questions that lead to yes. You know, an example would be, wouldn't it be awesome to be able to bring in $50,000 extra a month? The only answer to that is yes, sir, Abi. so, but of course, when you're new and you don't know what you're doing and you just drop $2,000, they are training you, but you're not listening. You're just trying to see if you didn't enter one chance. There's a good chance you don't enter one chance already, by the way. So when she said, "What do you think about it, though?" I couldn't answer right away because I was at an event. She said, I also want to ask about advertising my scooter business, right? Because she knows my other business here is the digital marketing consulting and agency. So she asked that. I'm like, so I couldn't answer her. So the following morning, I answered are you interested in it? So and I said, good morning. I was at an event last night. I will pass on the name of the company. I said that. So now imagine somebody seeing that early in the morning. So I said, I now said, I think, and now mentioned the company name will end badly. So I said, who take their money out? I said, I wanted to say, so who can take their money out early enough may get some money if you get, because in that particular company, if you try to withdraw the money they claim that you are making already, it's shown on the dashboards. If you try to withdraw it, they're charging a transactional fee of 20% of the money, of the amount you want to take out, sir. They charge they take so this business, they say you put $2,000 in and you're making $66 every day return on your investment. Wow. So $66 every day return on investment. It sounds mouth-watering. You know, instead of having $66 sitting in your bank account, let me just put $66, and then you now start seeing on your dashboard $66. But here's the part they don't tell you upfront, or you're not listening to upfront, even if they tell you. Once you try to withdraw that 66 or any of that 66, they will charge you 20% of it. And then also they claim that $2,000 original $2,000 is also an investment that's still in there. But if you try to take it, they will also take 20% of it. Shouldn't make sense, but there, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I now told her. So I now said, with regards to advertising business, I said, oh, just follow the same model that they use to advertise it for you, which is word of mouth, friends and family. And I'll send her a video that details our marketing consulting service. I sent that to her. So of course, once she realized that nothing did there, she no read them anymore. But people are not willing to listen, is my point. That people, when they are desperate, when their mouth start to water, when someone like Stephen Akintayo, Dr. Akintayo comes and say, hey, we're going to get rich. This is how I became a billionaire. When he's saying billionaire, he's intentionally using the language billionaire. It's not billionaire in dollars. Even Grant Cardone is not billionaire in dollars. He controls $800 billion worth of real estate. It's not the same thing that's your net worth. That's not the same thing. You see what I'm saying? Let me make sure that let me cancel this. Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's those are two. So if I come to you and I call myself a billionaire, there's a certain type of audience that I attract, sir. They are not quality audience. You don't, like you said earlier, you don't see Tony Elumelu talking about, I'm a billionaire, come and listen to me on my podcast.
Yeah.
They don't do that. That's tacky. That's tacky. Let me see. Black Diamond, sorry, I didn't see your comment for. Why do all these shady people always go on DF shows? Wala. Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze is not cross-checking, because at one point he was promoting the Forex business too, which he no longer promotes. That was obviously scam everywhere. The Forex thing. He did even.
Daddy Freeze.
Sir.
Daddy Freeze.
Of course. Every Wednesday he did it. It was another thing that they were recruiting people into. That's what that is. So they use Forex for it. They use crypto for it. And of course, real estate has a scam in it. But real estate sounds more authentic. Somebody can just come out of nowhere, put on, I forgot the name of this Awusa type of filler. Put that on, look fresh and clean, change agbada every day, and they call themselves a billionaire. And before you know it, you want to get some piece of that. if you have been working for the last, let me advise all my aunties and my uncles, you've been working hard for the last 20, 35 years. Whatever you've done up to that time is where your blessings are. That's where your blessing is. You are vulnerable. You are a target. You are easy target because you have savings. You have retirement funds laying somewhere, at least in the 401k somewhere. They charge you a little bit of, I don't know, they'll charge you, I don't know what percentage they charge you to remove some of your 401k. But after all, you're about to make $66 per day. So you will justify it. You're an easy target. Let me get your last word, sir.
Well, you said it all. We just have to be very careful. With these people, the guy, getting rich quick is not worth it.
No, it's not.
They say wealth gotten in vanity shall diminish, or what do you call it? So we have to be very careful. But this guy goof. You don't have to come out and begin to shalai now.
Yeah.
Let me use the last word. I have to come and shalai.
The only thing that tells me, sir, is that he's never really built anything to a significant level over time.
Yeah. I don't even know how big is he an honorary doctorate degree or what? I don't know.
It's easy to get that in Nigeria, sir. Remember, it's also Forbes. It's actually Forbes Africa most influential real estate guru, something. It's easy to get that. If you Google his name, one of the first things that comes up is this Forbes article right here. There's a Forbes article that comes up. It's easy to get on Forbes. It's also OSU, right? It's also part of the OSU, but it's easy to, if you also long enough, anybody can get on Forbes. You can even pay money for it. Okay, if you look here on this page, let me make it bigger so you can see. If you look here on Googling his name, you can see where is it to? Where's this thing? Okay, let me just share this one. If you scroll down here, you'll see here that okay, that's the mentorship website. Forbes Council, they have a council subdomain here. Chairman GTEX Holding. If we open this, that's a whole article, a profile on Forbes for him. And this website has high authority, what they call high web authority. So if you have somebody, in terms of, if you see somebody of Forbes, of course, all of our heads will swell. Like, that's a big deal, right? And then obviously in terms of the robot see a link going from here to your website. It's a big deal. It gives you a credibility in terms of credibility and visibility at the same time. So this is his contest here. Is the world most influential investment coach of African descent. He won the 2023 Forbes Best of Africa Leading Investment Coach Award and Real Estate Mogul. Over the years, he has received numerous prestigious accolades, which is probably how he filed for documents to be a green card holder here too. Because if they see all these awards on all this credible website, they will give you papers. If you go listen to Ife and the new husband's video from yesterday, she said that that's how they filed for their green card in 3 months. Acknowledging his exceptional contribution to a global business and leadership. Notably, Dr. Akintayo is spearheading a $200 million expansion project of GTEX Holdings in the USA, further cementing his position as a key player in the global real estate industry. $200 million real estate is not a lot, by the way. Yeah, that's not a lot.
That's what I'm looking at. That's not much.
Yeah, but Esa, imagine the person that see this and say, right? You have to look at the full context of what they say here. Expansion project. There's a context here, right? This is not his money. It said expansion project. And don't forget his advertising, raising some of them from you, apparently from you, raising some of that money. Is he living on some of them? Potentially, yes. So he's trying to keep up with the social media lifestyle so he can get more, so that by the time they make big profit, they call it is a risk. Yeah. So it to pay for everything, right? Is it a big risk? Yes. You know, but when you're raising money from the Mekuno, they will drag you. I'm just letting you know right now.
I could drag you.
Oh no, Alata.
Yes. No, they show them their account every day.
Yeah, they will expect you to show. Yeah, they will expect you to show the account every day.
BDM, they show their Zenith account every day. Say, make go look for money there.
I know. So it says he's the chairman of GTEX Holdings and the founder of Stephen Akintayo Foundation. They always had the foundation because they know you love to see that. He's also a philanthropist because after all, Elumelu too has Elumelu Foundation.
Yeah.
GTEX Holding is the mother company of different subsidiaries, which also includes GTEX Homes, owning over 30 estates, 50 to 2,000 acres on each of the. So that's the question that people are asking now. Say GTEX Holding is based in US, UK, Dubai, and many cities in Nigeria, with her US headquarters based Houston, Texas. At one point, he had an office in Dubai. I guess he has an office in Houston now too. Other subsidiaries include Stephen Akintayo Foundation. It is poised to raise entrepreneurs who will lead the world of business and investments in Nigeria. This looks like a lot of teachings, a lot of book writings. It raises these entrepreneurs through mentorships, practical and in-depth training in the Stephen Akintayo, guess what, sir? Stephen Akintayo University. Sure makes sense there. Just like the Wigwe University, why not, right? Everybody should have their own university. Training such as real estate investment, masterclass, business structure, etc. Stephen Akintayo Foundation has a vision of raising 1 million millionaires. Hey, long. Who is going to be left in the world if we have 1 million millionaires? Let me say this at this junction. We don't need 1 million millionaires. So you don't need to be a millionaire. It's not necessary. There's no happiness in here. These people, they won't listen now. They will not come back and say somebody scam them. It is you that's greedy.
In naira or dollars?
That's a good question, sir. Okay, let me come back. Maybe in naira. After all, I think this is about Africa. Okay, maybe we can use 1 million millionaires in naira. Okay. More prosperous people. Because your pastor will claim the same thing. The reality is that most people are not going to be millionaires. It will never happen, period. It will never, there's not enough money to make that happen. It will never be enough money. Okay, I'm talking too real. Let's go back into our fantasy land. So by 2050, he wants to raise 1 million millionaires, with 70% of them from African heritage. And this sounds the same message as Jay Morrison. I want all my black people, Tulsa real estate funds, only black people. Even though white people, greedy people will also find themselves in it. There were white people there. It's just that you don't hear the white people noise because it was just, let me see what's happening. They're greedy too. They put their 500. They said they are dragging themselves. No, I don't want to be a part of that mess. You know, the Stephen Akintayo University is an online wealth creation school. The university was formed after realizing that formal education doesn't teach about money and wealth creation. Hence, a university that does that was created for people to study and get certified upon completion. The university aims to broaden the knowledge base and further sharpen the skills of young people with our numerous practical and time-tested courses. The founder of GTEX Holdings, formerly known as G-Lade Bomb Group Services, has assisted. So that's a former company. Has assisted several businesses in Nigeria to move to enviable levels by aiding them to reach their clients through its enormous nationwide database of real phone numbers. This was his original business. He had real phone numbers and email addresses. He was collecting databases of businesses. So people were now doing texting. They were texting people in marketing of their business. It has hundreds of organizations as its clients, including multinational companies. Born in the Gonje area of Maiduguri, Borno State, the northeastern part of Nigeria, in a very impoverished environment. You must also put the Atakpata Dide part of the story. Born poor, raised out of nowhere. It will sound like me, right? If I get mentored by a Dr. Akintayo or Stephen, he would tell me like, Ola, You have to tell that Akure Ogbese story very well. You're not telling that. You have to repeat that story every live stream. And guess what? Sir? One more koje. If I ask them for 500, no more for me.
I don't know where Warren Buffett was born.
If you are listening to Money Investment long enough, you know at least he lives in Nebraska. Oh God.
Nebraska, that's where he lives.
I think so.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett lives in Nebraska. I think so. Warren Buffett. Let me Google it. Let me make sure I'm right.
I know Akintayo will be in Texas.
Yeah, he lives in Omaha. Omaha is in Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in a very small house, and that's part of his story too. Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, he purchased the home in 1958 and still resides there.
Yeah.
So like Dr. Steven cannot live in the same house since 1958. God forbid bad thing.
He lives in a mansion. Somebody that his mother could not pay 200 naira.
I know. I know. Atapata. So he's in Borno State, impoverished environment, with a civil servant mother who raised him and his 4 other siblings with a meager salary. His father's contract business had crumbled before he was born. His passion for philanthropy was informed by his upbringing. In his words, my surname was poverty. Hunger was my biggest challenge. I had to scavenge all through primary school to eat lunch, as I didn't go to school with lunch packs. We were too poor to afford that. But things got better in my secondary school days. Although my mom would go to her colleagues to borrow money to send me to school each term, it was humiliating when I saw them looking at my mom with utter dismay. That as someone who keeps begging, it hurt dearly. I hated poverty and I prayed to help more families to come out of it. At 17, he read his first business book. Guess what book that was, sir? That's easy. That's an easy one.
That commerce book.
No, it was Rich Dad Poor Dad, sir.
Oh yeah, something Gagoshi, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Yes,
I know.
Yes, it's either that or Think or Grow Rich. Great say Herbalife is an MLM. Genistar is an MLM. Best to just avoid the MLM or direct marketing nonsense out there. Be careful, guys. I agree with you 100%. Focus on what you do best. Focus on your calling. Find out what your purpose is in life. I guarantee you your purpose is not in MLM. I guarantee it. Okay. A lot of people that are lost, they will end up in MLM. That's just the way it is. Okay. And you will have money in the bank account. You have nothing to do with it, so they will take it from you. And his first online business was selling ebooks he bought for 3,000 naira. He ventured into other businesses in the process. His main drive to succeed was to compensate a very hardworking mother who denied herself everything just to educate her 5 children. While a student, he organized students' trade fairs within the students' community. I think that's where he picked his wife. Go to Dear Future Wives. You will see his story there. He has this one is his long story. They said he turned.
The African American guy that released interview.
Oh yes. He brought his wife there. They talked about marriage and everything.
Oh.
They ended up there. So, but let me get your. I know I was getting your last words. We're not gonna finish this one here today, but I should finish.
Today we're on a cruise with the cash.
Not cruise, but hopefully somebody learned something. Hopefully.
Yeah, somebody learned something.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be. You know, the way they even drag Nigerians, people abroad, as if they are not doing better, as if we are behind, as if we are just working. People are smart, so I don't want people to just come and begin to say, we are making billions in Nigeria. You guys are sleeping. Who told you that?
That's the message they're selling. Yeah.
When you have a family, a lot of people don't understand. When you have a family abroad, your kids, your family comes first.
Yes.
You go to school, you want to make good of your family. They go to college. There are faces to everything. Yeah. You know, we Nigerians, we want our children to be better than us. You know, I have 2 kids in college. So I'm not going to fold my hand and begin to just spend anyhow. If I have the money itself, I would rather use it to do better, help other people that need help than going to spend.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. So the way people are looking at us, what are you kidding me?
Why
don't you face the government in Nigeria? And these are the people that be asking for black tax.
Yeah.
You want money, CBEX. Good luck with that.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you. Goji, thank you so much, sir. Happy Sunday, sir. All right, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right, everybody. Let's end this show on this note. If you tend to jump around and call people scam, if that's your natural order of things, you will get scammed. Okay? You become an easy target. They will just come from another angle. It's the same thing about red flags. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. Because it's a red flag. Like, all you see is red. You see red everywhere. Okay? You still an easy target. Okay? All right. Now, with regards to Dr. Akintayo, the main problem here is he's in the middle of building a business. And it's messy. And it's probably mixed in, he's commingling money from different things, is desperately asking. I think that $18,000 offer was a desperate offer. It wasn't an offer that was made that was thought through all the way properly. Okay? In addition to the fact that he's marketing to the wrong audience. But I'm not sure he's doing it unintentionally. I think he knows the market is marketing to. I think we're getting into a space that if you are a thought leader, if you're a person that you consult, you're a coach, you're a trainer, right? More so than ever before, you have to clean up your act. The social media is a space where anybody can just wake up one day and say they're selling anything. Okay? And if the money is fast enough, people will get greedy. Not just the guru getting greedy. People will get greedy in terms of looking for fast results without doing the work. So they will turn around later and come back and call scam very quickly. So who should protect themselves? You that you're listening to me. It doesn't matter which side you're on. Protect yourself. There are desperate people in these social media streets. Protect yourself. Educate yourself. Invest in yourself is still the key thing here. Invest in yourself. If you invest in yourself, you will not spend $18,000 in something that you don't find true value in. So how do you recognize value? Right? You need to learn how to recognize value first. Because value is not quick results. There's no value in money itself. Why do you want the money? That's where the value is. That's how we identify value, right? You want to make $200,000 a year. Why? The why is the value, not the $200,000. That's why somebody cannot come and say $18,000 is a lot. A lot with respect to what? We don't know what we're talking about here. That's why somebody cannot come and say, it's making $200,000. That's a lot of money. No, you don't know what their lifestyle is. You can't speak to that. You can only speak to your own lifestyle. And what have you been able to do with $200,000 a year? To some people, it's a lot. To some people, it's not. So context matters. So no one can turn around and say $18,000 is a lot. Okay? We know who can say we know who can say that. A group of people can say that. Right? So if you're marketing to the wrong people, they can drag you. The market is always right. You see that? The market is always right. No one person is right. All of us are wrong. Every single one of us were wrong. That's why you see Auntie Aduni saying, I'm asking question. No, say it now. Say it out loud. Maybe you get it. She was also trying to protect herself. I understand that. But we don't know. There's a lot of people who just play victim after not doing their own homework. And not every platform is not going to abet and aid you in such behavior because we don't want to victim shame. No, educate yourself before you invest in anything. So first thing, there must be a product. The product must be paying for the business. The product must be bringing in enough revenue to cover the business. If you need to recruit other people into the business, if that's the highlight of the business, it is a scam. Okay, if that's the highlight, meaning that's what's popular about the business, the fact that you can recruit people into it. Join my business, join my business, join my business. If that's the language you're getting, it is scam likely. That's the best way to put it. It is scam likely. So if you already know that, once you see somebody's reaching out to you on WhatsApp and they drop a few videos and the language is around you're about to get rich overnight, or somebody is printing money, where's the money coming from? The money cannot come from recruiting other people. That is a Ponzi scheme. It will collapse eventually. No, but I'll just take my money out before it collapses. No. That's because you don't understand human emotions. It's called greed. That same greed that will make you test it out in the first place will not make you take your money out. Especially if you now find out that it's going to cost you a transactional fee to take it out. Because actually Dr. Akintayo was also accused of something similar like that on Auntie Adunis show. Somebody said he was trying to pull out. They wanted to back out of an investment, and it was like, well, you're going to lose half of that investment for backing out. Is that fair? I don't know, man. What did you sign up for? No, Ola, let's call a spade a spade. Let's just call it what it is. No, I don't know what you signed up for. You can not only can you lose half of your investment by backing out early, you can actually lose double. You can end up owing more money. Where? What do you mean? In the stock market. Go and play with stock options. And let's see if you don't lose more than what you invested in. If you play wrong. Yes, you can lose your money plus more. It's risky. Oh, you never knew that? Well, that's not fair. They said, no, it is fair. You know what's not fair? You're not reading the disclosures you need to read before you put your money somewhere. That's not fair. That's not fair. You weaponizing the social media to bring people down when you feel scammed. Somebody can claim that's not fair. He's playing the victim. I'm also disagreeing with him. He's also playing the victim there. Right? He's playing the victim. He can't claim the victim too. He needs to clean up his act. He needs to clean up his business. He needs to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, this is what we're saying. Well, we're going to answer to every single person. We're going to clean up our act. There's some things we need to clean up. We're going to take this opportunity to improve ourselves. But we do have investments. Investments are risky. And we plan to answer to everybody. Everybody's feelings are valid, and we're going to answer to everybody. Make an arrangement. Show them the disclosures they signed up for. If you don't have it, be upfront. This is not the time to play games now. We don't have a document, but you wired money to us. If they don't have something, they don't have something in their hand, and then, you know, it's fair game. You say, well, this was an investment and it's risky. Do you want to put a contract together now? We can make an arrangement. We can negotiate. We can negotiate some aspect of our business we're going, but we didn't have paperwork in place. Sorry, it's the fault of our operations. We're definitely cleaning it up right now. But coming out and playing the victim and saying people are rich or poor, every one of us are poor. All right? And you need to be authentic in this time and age more than ever before. You can't play that victim shaming game where you're calling people poor, and that's why. No, you can't do that. If you have a lot to lose, you have to be careful with that, because you could be self-indicting yourself. Because right now, from the sound of things, a lot of people called into that anti-show. A lot of people feel scammed. From listening to a few of them, I am convinced that these people are greedy people themselves. These are greedy people who did not do their homework before they invest in anything. Calling Dr. Akintayo greedy is an understatement. That's what he does. He's raising money. He's selling, being a billionaire. That's the picture that he's selling to you. That's the more reason why you should do your due diligence. So I'm sorry, Prestige family. I'm sorry. I don't want to victim shame, but do your homework. Invest in yourself. Okay? Start by reading a few books. No, forget that. Take your butt to ChatGPT and start searching, how do I recognize good investments? Start with that. That's free. That one is free. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. So I see some people that I know, good people, nice people, selling MLM scams inside of my WhatsApp, and then they turn around and talk about they got scammed. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Ola, you lack empathy, maybe, in this respect. Maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Don't forget, download the books. They're free in the description box below. Getmymarriageback.com. Sorry, manofprestige.com. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.